His name is Billy Long. He is a former Republican congressman from Missouri, and like most of Donald Trump's nominees, he is wholly unqualified for the job, in this case, Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service, and he is profoundly ethically challenged.
After leaving the Congress, you made $65,000 referring your friends to tax promoters who claimed that they acquired income tax credits issued to a Native American tribe and then sold these credits to investors. There's a problem. The IRS said in March that the credits do not exist. They're fake. They are a scam. Do you believe that these so-called tribal tax credits actually exist? That's yes or no.
I do. I can't answer yes or no because I do not know.
You did refer tribal tax credits to individuals, correct?
I referred them to capital edge strategies, yes.
Okay, so knowing that they're illegal and the IRS has said they are illegal, how do you stand here before this committee and tell the chairman just a few minutes ago that you have no conflict of interest?
Because the Office of Government Ethics, which are career professionals that I've signed, controls all of that. And I did not have any perception whatsoever that these did not exist.
He's telling you he didn't know that the things he was selling didn't exist. The New York Times reports that this fraudulent tax credit was, quote, offered by White River Energy Corp., an Arkansas-based oil and gas company. Several people who work for White River Energy Corp., as well as a host of other companies that have promoted questionable tax strategies, donated more than $135,000 to Mr. Long's dormant campaign account this year. Mr. Long used those donations to pay himself back for a loan he made to his failed Senate campaign in 2022. Campaign finance records show. And joining us now is Democratic Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada. She is a member of the Senate Finance Committee. And Senator, I joined the hearing today via C-SPAN just as you were beginning your questioning, and I really could not believe what I was hearing. I heard an awful lot of confirmation hearings in that room, and back when I was working on the staff there, we ran a lot of them. But this is for the job of IRS commissioner, and he was involved in promoting tax scams?
Lawrence, this is what's so crazy about this hearing today. All of the information that I asked him about was information he provided. He provided this to through the Ethics Commission, through his financial disclosures. But more importantly, you highlighted this. The IRS commissioner is the one that is going to be tasked with investigating these types of frauds, investigating the companies and individuals who are peddling this type of tribal tax fraud that does not exist. So the question is, how can he stand there and say he's going to be an IRS commissioner when questioned really at the end of the day his involvement with these tribal tax credits? And the concern rightfully being, how can you not say there's not a conflict of interest in taking this job on? And more importantly, based on the fact that a lot of these companies actually provided him information, like you have just said, to one of his PACs when he ran for the Senate. Those financial donations came into his PAC after he was already nominated by the president for this position. So you got to question, well, why are they giving him money? Because in his position as the IRS commissioner, can he then protect them and make sure an investigation doesn't go forward? Or can he ensure that somehow he legitimizes these tribal tax credits and other things these companies have done? I mean, I have to say, Lawrence, it's the first time in these committee hearings when I actually had the data and the information from the individual and questioned their ability and their conflicts. And you clearly saw where he had no clue. And if he wasn't going to admit to it, he was going to claim somehow that it was the responsibility of the Ethics Commission or some other agency that he filed these reports to that did something with this. It was nonsensical. And it clearly shows he has no business being the IRS commissioner.
And that $135,000 that's been contributed to him since he was named IRS commissioner is now literally in his pocket. It's in his personal bank account. That's where it went. It passed through his campaign as campaign contributions and then directly to him as his own personal money that was given to him by these people who have business with the IRS.
That's absolutely right. And if you look at the reports that if you have a campaign account, you have to file a report and show publicly where the money came from. There are 3 companies that gave him money that allegedly peddled in these tax schemes with the tribal tax credits. So you got to question why all of a sudden, after he gets nominated to be the IRS commissioner, are they even giving him money in a campaign account that he utilized when he ran for Senate, but lost for the Senate, and that pretty much was dormant until he was nominated.
And, you know, I listened to Republican questioning. They didn't do anything to try to rehabilitate any of this. Their strategy was, like in all Trump confirmation hearings, just change the subject.
That's right. And that's the shame, and I think the concern that I have. We really have before us in Senate Finance today somebody who has really no qualifications, but really should not be in this position. And you're questioning whether or not he even knew about this tax fraud and should be held accountable for it. Why would we want to put somebody in a position as IRS commissioner who oversees the enforcement of these types of tax schemes? And the concern goes beyond that, but the fact that he received these dollars from these companies, but also, listen, I will have to say, I also have concerns that he is going to use his position as political retribution. As political retribution, maybe for him or these companies or somebody else. He is not the appropriate person to be the IRS commissioner.
I have the highest compliment I can give you about Senate hearings, especially in that committee, Senator. You made it look easy, and I know it isn't. I know how much work goes into those minutes you spend with that witness, but one of the reasons why it looked easy to us out here was it was so clear. It was so alarmingly and disturbingly clear what you were dealing with sitting in front of you there at the witness table.
Lawrence, listen, we get 5 minutes to actually ask these questions. And my goal here is really to shine a light on what is happening with these nominees and who they really are. And it was not just me. You showed Senator Wyden. Yep. He's done an incredible job. We've worked together to really shine a light, use our oversight role to show what is happening here in this particular case with this nominee.
Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.